want to, all right, you need to, I'm going to skip over this here real quick. You need to find another crack or a data dump. When I'm looking at a data dump, I'm looking at password hashes. If there's any kind of a database on the system that you can pull information out of, all right. What else from your original scan that you did last week? How can you find a database? How do you identify a database? What type of a database is it? What type of SQL it's running? Okay, you can get really, really crazy. Or you just get root again, but through a different mechanism. Different exploit. Okay? Now, if you did a different exploit in week 3, you can do that MS 09050, completely legit, no problem. Otherwise, if you did MS 09050, I'm going to be looking at week 3 and see what you did. Okay? Everybody with me? All right. Now, the easy part or the hard part, depending on how you look at it, is you need to create a backdoor and persist within this system. Okay? Now, I'm going to be intentionally vague here. All right? I'm going to be intentionally vague for a reason. Persistence can come in many shapes, sizes, and forms. All right? The definition of persistence is a means by which you can get into the system again and again and again and maintain connectivity. Okay? Or maintain a connection. All right? Not a consistent connection per se, but having access to that system. You guys step me through that. Show me how you did it. Okay? Everybody with me? Now, this is important because all of your cool script kiddies that are out there, they can break into servers left, right, center, night, and day. The hard part is maintaining access. And by maintaining access, maintaining quiet access to the system. Quiet access to the system. I told this story last night to last night's 471 class. I got hired about a year ago to do a pen test for a school district. Pretty decent sized school district. Not the biggest school district in the area, but a good sized school district in Southern California. And I had been doing it for a couple years with this customer. And so this is like the second year that I was doing it. Yeah, second year. Getting ready to actually do it again for a third year. So the first year I did it, it was about a month-long engagement. And at the after action, the lessons learned meeting, it kind of came in and said, hey, my name's Brandon. You ever noticed anything wrong with your network in the last 30 days? So I was able to get into their systems and dump some data from databases and everything else. And they had an entire year, actually over a year, to fix everything, lock everything down, harden everything. So I go through the entire contract process with the school district and their CIO and negotiate. And I said, okay, well, since I did this before, I think I'm going to need a little bit extra time to break in. I might have to get, creative, and because you supposedly locked everything down. And they're like, okay. So I actually increased my fee for the second year. And so it was, the first one was like a 4-week engagement. This was a 6-week engagement that I was going to be working with them. And it wasn't full time, but I was going to be spending about 20 hours a week on this particular project. On day 2, I called the CIO and I said, I'm done. He said, what? I said, I'm done. I broke in, got your domain controller, I have your student information database, I have your employees' health records and retirement records, I have done all kinds of other stuff. And he's like, no way. I'm like, I sent him screenshots. He's like, damn. these guys were supposed to lock everything down and make sure that you could get in. And it's like, how'd you get in? I was like, you left a open web portal for a password renewal. Or, yeah, I forgot my password. So, and it had an actual flaw in the code to where I could reset everybody's password or any individual user's password to red, R-E-D. I go, there I go. Have you logged in this morning? He goes, no, I left my computer on. Usually I have my office locked. I go, log out and log back in. He goes, what's my password, Brandon? I go, your password's red. He's like, no, that doesn't even conform to our password. I go, no, your password's red, man. And sure enough, he logs out. He tries to type in his password, and I hear, he has a long-ass password. Click. It's like, no, dude, 3 letters, R-E-D, not even capitalized. He's like, oh! So, I'm like, okay, well, thanks for everything. He's like, I don't have to pay for the full 6 weeks, do I? I'm like, well, let's talk about that. So what we decided to do is we decided to do an IR exercise, an instant response exercise. So he had several new people on his help desk staff, and he had a brand new network engineer and another sysadmin because of people who had retired. So he's like, okay, well, let me talk to the superintendent and the assistant superintendent for finance. Don't think I can, I can let this all go, still pay you, but I appreciate your honesty with me. I'm like, okay, so tell you what, I can cut this back by a week or so, and we can, do a change of scope. So I did a change order with them. And so by the next week, he got back to me and we said, okay, we'll do this incident response exercise over the next 4 weeks. And he gave me clear, concise, okay, you can go to this server, but you can't go to these servers. You can go to this server and this server, or you can do this work on this network segment, but you can't touch this and this. And that was for a reason, okay? It was primarily for safety reasons, because the last thing I wanted to do would go into any type of fire alarm system, security system, call the fire department out. So, I mean, that's a health and safety issue you'd never want to do. Everybody kind of understand that, all right? But there was stuff like, I was rebooting servers, I was able to get into PCs, I was changing backgrounds on people's PCs, I was, leaving messages and notepads and everything else. And here's the funny part. So I started this, and I did this over a 4-week period, okay? Over a 4-week. I did a trouble ticket for one of the help desks to send their help desk tech out to go fix the wireless on the school bus. There's no wireless on the school bus. Okay? I did some crazy stuff. It was great. And nobody over 4 weeks reported anything. Oh, that's crazy. Nobody even thought, because I had already done this a year prior. Oh, dude, what's that crazy professor guy from Cal Poly that's screwing with us? Nobody even considered that until I came in on the lessons learned meeting and said, okay, guys, what kind of crazy stuff have you seen in the last 30 days? And as soon as they walked in the room and saw me, I could tell what the system admin, he just started laughing. He just started laughing. And the people on the help desk, they were like, what? Who's this dude? So, long story short, I would not have been able to do anything at all if I did not persist in their network. I didn't have 1 backdoor. I didn't have 2 backdoors. I didn't have 3 backdoors. I had almost a dozen. I think I had 11 backdoors in their network.
Damn.
Okay? I created accounts. I changed passwords. I found the old network engineer's account that was disabled. I re-enabled it and changed the password. They left 33. They left RDP open. I was able to log in from the outside world. They had a VNC connection I was able to get into. And if all else absolutely positively failed, I owned their internet router and their firewall, and I was able to remote access into those two devices at the network level. And from there, I got into their core switch and enabled RSPAN. So backdoor and wire sharp anything I wanted to. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. And they never even detected me. Never detected me. So this is why persistence is important, kids. Okay, this is why I really preached this week. Okay, and guess what? In 4 weeks, week 8, we get to do this all over again in Linux with the Linux box that you get to crack into. Okay, so with persistence, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. There's just a way in. That's it. Whatever you get, however you get in, however you maintain, that's cool. Just got to show that you can. Okay? So here's what I like to say. If you can set up your persistence, however you're going to set it up, reboot the box, the Windows server, and still get in, you can persist. That's 25 points. Show me that. You're good. Okay? Don't overthink it. Okay? Some of you are going to overthink it, I know. It's all right. All right?
I found this one.
Questions? Feel free to email me. If you have questions, hey, what do you think about this? I'll go, yeah, that would work. Or, no, well, you can try it. That's typically my, well, prove it to me. Okay? Feel free to email me. I'll be happy to give you some more hints. Leave a few more breadcrumbs. Questions? You guys having fun with this, or is it frustrating? Seriously, no lie, because every class is different.
It's just something new getting used to.
It's just something new you're getting used to?
It's just,
okay. Something new?
Yeah.
Okay. This is supposed to be the fun class, guys. All right? Seriously. Because a lot of employers are looking for these types of skills. Not to make you hackers and steal money from banks or anything, but to actually test their system to make sure their systems are secure. Right? Like I say, if you leave your house, you leave your apartment, and you close the door, how many of you actually check to see if it's locked? This is the same practice. You're checking the locks, guys.
I gotta put the code in.
All right? Now, I have multiple layers of security. All right? I have my lock on my door, and then I got, these 3 guys. Hey, it's called defense in depth. All right. You got any other questions for me? Have a great week. Yes, sir.
So for this weekend, you want week 3 and week 4 submitted,
Yes,
or
please.
just okay?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
For week 3, we didn't really need week 3, we just had to get in.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Get in. Dump data. Something. I basically gave you the one for week 3.
Yeah. He gave
Or if you did something else for week 3, I gave you the one for week 4.
Okay.
Right? For the break-in, but not the persistence. You're going to have to do that on your own.
Okay.
Okay? And we're getting into week 5 next week. At the end of week 5, on Monday, we'll talk about the report that's due. Okay? The Windows report. What I'm looking for. Don't sweat it. I'm not looking for a dissertation. Basically, it's explanation and a lot of screenshots. Okay? Some stuff you should be doing already. Okay? Because you had to do that each week.
Cool.
Okay? Get out of here.